So here we are, homeless in Winnipeg still, forced to the street by the Court of Appeals, the RTB, and the RTC. A Madam Chief Commissioner, keep this in mind, people, okay? I'm now a Madam Chief Commissioner, the highest you can go in the land at the RTC, allowed undated, undocumented receipts. Was the end-all be-all of it as admissible evidence. When it went in front of the RTB, our landlord rent-evicted us. It's a real thing. Look it up. Came to me one night, told us our property was going to be redesignated. We had to move as soon as possible. We said, no, we're not. And I kind of chuckled. I guess that must have ruffled his feathers a little bit, because it went in front of the RTB, and the RTB hearing officer comes onto the phone, telephonic hearing, and he introduces himself to both the tenants and the landlord, Sherry and I, and our slumlords. By the way, these slumlords own multiple properties here in the city of Winnipeg. Their names are Amit and Pamit Kapoor. They also own Pamit's Car Bazaar PCB Automotive Group. Don't trust them. Don't rent from them. Don't buy anything from them. These people are slimy, and they will fuck you any which way they can. Just dirty cocksmokers. Anyways, and why I say that is because of what we're going through. And what the RTC has allowed is unjust, inhumane, reprehensible, deplorable, despicable, unethical treatment of other human beings, let alone citizens of Winnipeg, let alone citizens of Canada, let alone citizens of Manitoba. Pretty fucking bad. So I got up this morning at 4:30 at the Flying J truck stop, turned our car back into driving mode, took down our bed and turned our car into driving mode, and went and washed up and got dressed for work. And Sherry cried a little bit, and I told her it was going to be okay. And I don't know how, and I don't know when, but it's going to be okay. And you just got to believe that. That's all. And she cries every morning now, and every evening when she's off work. It's the saddest goddamn thing, guys. So this went to, anyway, so here I am, long story short, to finish the first, because I'm getting off topic there. I'm ADHD. Adult acute level 2 with 2 nonverbal learning disabilities. An adult acute autistic spectrum disorder. On top of it. Pretty wild shit. So anyways, I got off topic there for a minute. It's the ADHD kicking in. Got up 4:30, turned the car into vehicle mode. Once again, took our bed down, turned the car back into vehicle mode. Went to work early, not on time, but early. And just rocking. I'm a heavy labor for a drywall outfit here in the city of Winnipeg, Sleva Construction. Okay, Sleva Contracting. And I'm there. I'm the cleanup cat. So I get up. Sherry gets up. She has a cry. I tell her it's going to be okay. We turn the bed. We turn the bed down and turn the vehicle into driving mode for the day. And she goes and gets ready and washes up. And I go get ready and wash up for my job and her for her 2 jobs. And so away we go with our day, which leads us here currently. I'm sitting outside. It's well, the date stamp is on there. I don't even know the fucking day. It's so crazy in here. Hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. Where's the day? What day is it? We don't know the day. Anyways, Friday is the 13th, so Friday the 13th, Thursday's the 12th, Wednesday's the 11th, Tuesday's the 10th, so today's the 9th. 9th of June, 2025, 18 degrees outside in Winnipeg, 5:38 p.m. And I'm now sitting, after my long day at work, I'm now sitting outside of Sherry's second job, just down the street a little bit. And she's a direct support staff for St. Amant in the evening from 3 to 11 p.m. And in the daytime, she's mobile healthcare aide for the WRHA. 2 jobs inside the WRHA umbrella. A frontline worker being treated by their own HMO like this. You should have seen what her work did to her. Once they found out she was homeless, they demoted her, switched her houses, took away relationships she'd garnered with staff as well as her client for over a decade. Good job, St. Amant. Good job, team leaders from St. Amant. Great compassion and sensitivity. And everything else that you aren't, that you should be, that you boldly state that you are, you're a joke. You're a fucking joke. Your healthcare aide, WRHA, and your direct support staff, St. Amant gets up every morning and cries, and comes home from work and comes to me, and she cries before we leave for work. Cries for a good 10-15 minutes. Just wants it to stop. So I'm sitting outside of her work now waiting for her. So my day starts at 4:30 and it ends at 11 p.m. every single day. Yeah. I'm only working until 3:30. But then I come here and I stay awake and take care of the cats and try and live our life in our vehicle. So we got rent-evicted and by 2 slumlords, Pamit Kapoor and Amit Kapoor. And they own 95 Imperial Avenue and Pamit's Car Bazaar, PCB Automotive Group, and a few other quite questionable holdings here in the city of Winnipeg. And some very questionable properties as well. They're slumlords, they're joke landlords, and they're just shady as fuck. Get this, guys. So he comes to our door one night and he says, Troy, you guys are being rent-evicted. You gotta move as soon as possible. I kind of chuckled at him. Guess that ruffled his feathers a little bit. And said, no, we don't. And he said, okay, well, we'll see about that. He was pretty mad and he drove away. He went to I contacted the RTB and the RTB person said, oh yeah, there's a telephonic hearing that's going to come up here in 10 days or less. You don't got to move. You're going to do the right thing. We'll get this going right away. I said, okay, thank you. So we stayed put, and sure enough, it came to a telephonic hearing. The RTB hearing officer comes on, explains who he is, and states, I have one question for the before we get this entire process started, for the landlords. During the first 5 months of their tenancy, did the tenants pay you in full, in cash, for the first 5 months that they were living there? Because they couldn't get a receipt out of you. They had videos, but I wouldn't let them admit them. I wouldn't even look at them, because it would have been a freedom of information and privacy breach, simply due to the fact that you did not know you were being recorded. So I did not allow them as admissible evidence. However, did the tenants give you cash for the first 5 months that they rented from you? Yes. In full every month for rent? Yes. Did you ever give them receipt for that money that they paid you for their rent? No. Case dismissed, case closed, case dismissed. He made a motion for time to extend and time to appeal. He got it granted, went in front of an RTC hearing, not a hearing officer, but a Madam Chief Commissioner, highest you can go in the land. She allowed the end all be all of it, undated, undocumented receipts. No names, rough amounts, no dates. For what? Exactly. They didn't have our names on them. RTC Madam Chief Commissioner. They were undated, undocumented receipts that you allowed. And on top of it, allowed him to garnish poor Sherry, who, by the way, does not just hold down 2 jobs, is also a single mother of 3. RTC, you're a real piece of shit entity. And what you're doing here, you ain't gonna get away with. You fucked with the wrong cat. I'll tell you what, you pieces of shit. You are unbelievable that you allowed undated, undocumented receipts with no names on them and rough amounts, while pointing out all of his so-called evidence. He had screenshots, digital screenshots, that were allowed in as admissible evidence and carried whatever weight. He took screenshots, this Amit Kapoor piece of shit, this slumlord of ours, took digital screenshots. And we don't even know if he knew he was sending them to the RTC, Madam Chief Commissioner, as evidence. If he was, he must have been high as a kite. Because why would anybody say they didn't pay me rent and then take screenshots of you using a digital stylus pen to scribble out the days, which were, by the way, people, no less than 48 hours after we gave that motherfucker the money? He went to RBC in 1505 St. Mary's Road, or 1550 St. Mary's Road, and deposited the exact amounts that he was requesting for rent after we went and paid him in cash. And then he took a screenshot of it, but this is the kicker. He's using some kind of a digital device, like a PDA or a laptop or, like a tablet, for example, whatever. And he uses this digital stylus to kind of scribble out the dates and the amounts, the dates on which rent was requested, and the amounts that were paid in full. And he used some type of a digital stylus pen to scribble these amounts out and then submitted that as evidence. The RTC allowed that. This Madam Chief Commissioner, this so-called authoritative form that has decided our fate to be living in the back of our SUV in Winnipeg, down at the Flying J truck stop. You know what? You're a piece of shit. And your actions are actions that a piece of shit would do. These are the actions of a piece of shit, people. This woman not only allowed undated, undocumented receipts as evidence, she also allowed a frontline worker, a single mother of 3 holding down 2 jobs under the WRHA umbrella, who has over almost 40 years tenure in the HMO, in Canada, in Manitoba, in Winnipeg. And allowed them per diem to the tune of approximately $160 some odd a day. Didn't tell her, gave her no notification, and let it accrue for a month. And then proceeded to give us some evidence that we have been garnished. So now they're garnishing. They force us out of the street under physical eviction from the Manitoba Sheriff's Office by November 22nd. We were out by November 23rd. We were out November 22nd. Checked into a hotel for 3 months at $13.96 a week, people. $5,800 a month. Do the math. That was all the savings we had. All the money we had, all the monies we had. We were just living our life, paying insurance, paying a car note, paying gas, paying down things in life. I was getting some tooth extractions done, and we were just living life, and Sherry was working, and I was getting back to work, and And this is what the RTC allowed to happen. Now we are living like this. Thank you, RTC. Thank you, Court of Appeals. Thank you, RTB. Thank you, RTC. No oversight committee. Thank you, City of Winnipeg, for opting out of something known as a Central Response Unit, a separate SITREP Overwatch entity that would step in real time live and interrupt and overturn particularly heinous decisions made by hearing officers and or piece of shit madam and or male chief commissioners of the RTC, or pile of garbage piece of shit hearing officers of the RTB, or all the pieces of work or all the pieces of work that work down at the Court of Appeals. This is an entity known as the Court of King's Bench, people. You might not know this, but you will. It has no oversight committee, none whatsoever, because the City of Winnipeg, thanks Government of Canada, due to a loophole, opted out of something known as a Central Response Unit, which would step in and overturn particularly heinous decisions by hearing officers at the RTB and or male and or madam chief commissioners at the RTC, and or step in real time live and interrupt a hearing in progress where tenants would be about to agree to something that they did not realize they were about to agree to, because the RTB as well as the RTC is very, very good at that as well. Now, off the backs of our very own tenancies, these people are being given, these hearing officers and or madam and male chief commissioners are being given off the sweat of our brow and off the backs of our very own tenancies, people. They're being granted their judgeships, both all three departments, civil, criminal, and family, from the Court of Queen's Bench. And that's some shit. See how that works? Meaning, people, your city's fucking bought and paid for. This is absolutely disgusting. This is reprehensible, irreparable, inhumane, unethical, despicable, appalling, sick, sickening, twisted, draconian type of behavior. Well, there you go, people. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Did you know that the mayor in the city of Winnipeg wouldn't get back to me? Hasn't returned our calls. Did you also know that Marty Morantz, Jamie Moses, and quite a few other members of Parliament and members of the city of Winnipeg, I'm not that well versed, I'm just a simple cleanup cat, just trying to get my education, I don't know too much. Anyways, did you know that none of these people returned our calls when we called them requesting for a call back because we would like to speak with them about an issue that we feel is systemic and that we would like to request have a stop put to it? Not one of these dirty cock smokers got back to us. Thanks a lot. And Wob Canoe, thank you so much for your polished voice and your polished exterior. But your interior, my friend, needs a lot of work. Mayor of the city of Winnipeg and all of his constituents and all of their assistants who've laughed at us and mocked us, not returned our calls. I want you to know something. This is going worldwide live on YouTube. Our names are Troy Palmer and Sherry Lang. And we work for Case Leva Contracting as a heavy-duty labor cleanup cat. for a drywall company, a reputable drywall company, right here in the city of Winnipeg. There's a video about them as well. You should hear what they allowed one of their foremen to do, and they kept them gainfully employed. Crippled me for the rest of my goddamn life. Piece of shit. Hey, Todd Dirksen. Karmic payback, people. It's a bitch. When somebody does something bad to another person in the world, it will eventually come back to them one way or another. And all one must do is just move on by forgiving that person for whatever reason they done what they done. They done what they done. You got to forgive them, and that way you'll be able to move on. And Todd, I tell you what, brother, I forgive you, but I'll never forget. I have a thoracic spinal injury because of you, man. Anytime I lift anything up over 20 pounds, and I'm strong. I'm a BC farm kid from the mountaintops. Yeah. I'm fucking strong, people. Ask around about me a little bit. Minnick, Owen. There's a couple few people that know my work ethic. Anyways, we really don't appreciate what's going on. We call for a change, a systemic. This is systemic, and we call for a change. Worldwide. Canada government, Canadian government. Wow. You guys, you need to wake up. You're allowing this to happen. By allowing cities to opt out of a central response unit? Are you fucking kidding me? This is sick. I wonder how many more goddamn people there are just like me. And just like Sherry. We've seen, we know. We know. All you got to do is look around, people, and open your eyes up. Anyways, back to Todd Dirksen. I got a thoracic spinal injury. Did you know, Todd, that 0.002 millimeters to the left, and I would have been paralyzed for the rest of my life? Did you also know that 0.003 millimeters to the left, I would have been dead? That's coming from my thoracic spinal, my orthopedic spinal surgeon. So because of you, Todd Dirksen, foreman for Sleva Contracting here in Winnipeg, because of you, I won't be able to ever lift anything again over 20 pounds without my hand locking up and releasing the load. You crippled me for the rest of my life, you pile of garbage. If I ever see you again, it'll be too fucking soon. People like you will learn probably in a different way. More than likely, it'll have something to do with work. At some point or another, maybe you'll be off work and doing something like work, and maybe something like this will happen to you. Or maybe somebody will get fed up with your shit, and maybe something like that'll happen to you. But I didn't do nothing to you, Todd. I didn't know you from Adam. And it's kind of funny, hey, people, because I was on a man shield site. M-builds, they call it now. A man shield. You like having people clipped. You like having people sniped and injured. Somebody more than just that man had a large part in this. I don't give a fuck who you are, but I'll tell you right now to your face, you're a coward. You're a simple coward. And people like you, once you get figured out, really, the rest of us are just hoping that you run and fucking hide. Crawl back under whatever rock you came out from under. And just stay there. Maybe something heavy will come along one day and squish that fucking rock, right? Who knows? Avalanche, a big bulldozer, dump truck, you never know. Todd, man, I forgive you though, brother. I do. Because you taught me a lot. You taught me a lot about myself. Taught me a lot about patience. Taught me a lot about trust. Taught me a lot about being extra cautious in life. Living a dream guy is still around, Todd. I stood my ground when you got up in my face on Friday. And then Monday, August 19th, 2024, 7:08, 7:09 a.m., I was clipped by 3 pieces, 3/4 sheets, 3 1/4 sheets of 5/8 drywall from 19 meters in the fucking air. I wonder where Gary went. Oh, Gary got fired. Really, what for? Oh, something completely unrelated. I bet he did, yeah. Poor Gary, who barely speaks a lick of English. Must have went through 3 levels of caution tape. Because according to Todd's phone, there was caution tape, mid-level, eye level, and waist level. Right? Like there should be. I know damn good and well that there wasn't. Because I was the one up there waiting. When Todd was giving his PSI, everybody in the room was listening except Gary, looking at his phone, rocking back and forth in his chair, laughing, chuckling on at his phone with an AirPod in his left fucking ear. How about that, workplace safety and health? Did you hear that fucking story? Because I told you, but you never reported on it, did you? Corruption in this city seems to go a little deeper than we think, huh, people? Isn't that some fucking shit? Isn't that some fucking shit? And this goof's still gainfully employed with this company. I have no idea why. So now what do I feel like? A slave to the buck. And I love what I do. I show up every day and work hard, try and learn as much as I can. And from the men I get the opportunity and pleasure to work around. And these are good men. And it's scary because I look at them like that, but it's scary at the same time now. Because I don't know who was involved. But I was sniped, I was clipped, people. That's pretty fucking shady, if you ask me. Why was I down in that bin without a spotter, Todd? How did Gary walk through a door that's closed and opens inwards to the left and walk through 3 layers or even 2 layers, mid-level and eye level, of caution tape, emerge black and red caution tape, boys, as well as signage, and then go to a garbage chute that wasn't even a drywall garbage chute, with no safeties in place, no closures, no latches, no nothing. And it was off to the right of that suite, about 6 feet off to the right. And Gary had spindly little arms. He's just a tiny little feller. Kind of curious as to how he chucked from the door 6 feet off to the right and then up to the left a little bit, down the chute perfectly, so it landed right while I was directly under the chute and cracked me between the base of my skull and the base of my spine. 0.02 millimeters to the left, paralyzed. 0.03 or 0.002 or 0.003. It's either 0.02 and 0.03 or 0.002 and 0.003. The document's somewhere in the car or somewhere in the SUV here, but I'd be damned if I can find it. I have to gotta get a reprint of it or get him to shoot it to my fucking email. 0.002 to the left, I'd have been paralyzed, man. You know that, Case Leva? Do you know that, Todd? 0.03 to the left, and I'd have been dead. Seems a little bit coincidental, but I'm willing to let bygones be bygones and let sleeping dogs lie. Are you? You certainly seem like it. Just want to keep on rocking like it never fucking happened, eh? Why is Todd still gainfully employed? Why didn't you all report it to the WCB for 10 days? Up to 10 days after it happened, peoples. Boys, they never fucking reported it. Now, I get the fact that your insurance carrier rates would have gone up, but Was that my fucking fault? Nope. So you got to do what you got to do as a company, right? I get that. But 10 days? So my life is worth what to you exactly? That's shady. It's slimy. I don't really care too much for it. But I kind of like the cats that I'm working around quite a little bit. Growing fond of them all. They all got different personalities, and they just seem like all like really great guys. And I don't even know none of them not well enough to say that, except to work side by side by most of them. And, well, not, I'm the cleanup cat, so, that's what I do. You guys know. I get all your stuff, pull it out of the job box, take it to where you're headed. I do everything I can for you each and every day, and I'm proud to say that I work by you and with you, and I'm proud to say that I do what I do, and that I always done what I done the way I done it, because I just love being there. That's why I always got a big, crazy, shit-eating grin on my face. I used to say living a dream, because each and every morning, that's when living the dream guy came about, because each and every morning when I had my children with me. Before my ex told me that I didn't make enough money, I'm just a construction worker, and I'm a cleanup guy, so I don't make enough money on Christmas morning in front of her family and my family. No less. What a fucking pig. She's just cheating on me. Going behind my back while I was at work getting her pussy filled up. I guess she didn't want me to find out, so she figured she'd fucking slight me in front of everybody instead. And told me that I didn't make enough money to provide for him well enough. In a way that she would want a man to provide for the kids and her. So she took the kids and her big fat stank pussy and fucking went out and kept on getting it filled up. Anyways, long story short, before that, I had my kids, Ami and Ava, and they're my fraternal twins. I love them to death. And they're my angels. And her daughter, my stepdaughter, Shaquila, her daughter, just the biggest, most beautiful, brightest ray of sunshine you ever did see. She's awesome, Shaquila. And she's like my stepkid, eh? And each and every morning, this is how the Living the Dream cat came about, boys. Troy, why do you say living the dream? Why say, how you doing, Troy? Living the dream. No matter when I ask you, you could be sweating. You put your fucking load down and say, living the dream, smile, and extend your hand for a handshake. And that's me. And I fly around sight like ain't nobody's business and do the best damn job I can, because I'm clean up, and that's what's expected of me. Got to keep the boys safe and make sure they got everything they need, and everyone's got their trade. But I got what I got, and so I can't read no tape, and I'm not too good with measurements and cuts and all like that there. So everyone's got their trade, and I got mine, and that's what I say. Living the Dream guy came about because each and every morning I'd get up, when I worked for Minnick, and I'd get up, go working for Jeremy, and I'd hop up about 3:45 each and every morning. I'd turn the house on and make coffee, and watch the news and listen to the radio, and have a smoke out in the stoop and coffee, and wake up, and I get to go and see my kids and everybody in their state when they're sleeping. Their natural state, and they're just angels. I had to kiss the daughter on the forehead, and my son on the forehead, and my girl and my stepdaughter, and know that I get to go to work and play in a big sandbox and get paid to do so, and run around and work hard and sweat and learn and laugh and have a good time, but work real hard and provide for my family. To me, guys, that was living the dream. That's where the living the dream guy came about. That's where he came from, and that's how he came about. And that's how it all happened, how it all went down. And this is how it's all gonna be. I'll always be living a dream guy. I just don't say it so much no more. Now I'm more careful living a dream guy. I'm a lot more cautious, and I still smile real big, and I still talk a little bit, but not so much like I used to, and same with the smiling. Anyways, you ain't never gonna take that from me, Todd. I know you were mad when I showed back up on Monday morning. And then I know you were mad after I got clipped when I showed back up on site. How you doing, Troy? Living the dream. Still smiling. Still living the dream. Whoever was part of this, you need to know now